Welcome to Indoor Cycling TV, the global community for indoor cycling and spinning. Now, every week we feature badass studios and rock star spin instructors. You also get spin classes absolutely free. So hit the subscribe button to avoid missing the world's greatest studios and instructors. Don't forget to like and share. Now let's watch today's video. Welcome back to the Indoor Cycling channel. Now, if you are new to the channel, A, where have you been? And B, it's time to subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything from the Indoor Cycling channel. Now, this week we have our very special guest, special guest, there you go, even I can't speak, special guest, Sid. So everybody who's watching, say hi to Sid.
Hello, hello.
Hey, fantastic. So Sid, you are in the hot seat today for our Indoor Cycling channel quiz question bonanza. So don't worry, the first one's very, very easy, the first question. The first question is, where do you currently offer indoor cycling?
Well, we are down in Pensacola, Florida. So great beach town that we've got here. Our spin studio is called Ride Society. And so we are right smack downtown. It's the best walkability in town, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
Fantastic. And how long have you been there for?
So I've been riding for a few years, and then I made the mistake one time of hosting like a private birthday party where I wanted to get on the podium for the first time, and we immediately started training the very next week. So apparently they didn't hate it too much. So we've had a good stint of that ever since. It's been a little over a year.
Fantastic. And how did you come to being at the studio that you're at now?
So as a rider, yeah, to be very transparent, it was my third, maybe second wedding anniversary. And it was like, hey, I want to get a few pounds shredded before, the big beach day. And so I said, well, all of these hosts look real good in Ride Society. They can get me there. So I just walked in, just to go for about a month and a half to really get that, last tone that I needed, and I was hooked ever since. So much about my body, but so much more about my mind and just how the two can really fuse. So I was hooked.
Yeah, and that's it. Fantastic. So tell us then briefly about this studio. What did you say it was called? The Ruck?
Ride Society.
Ride Society.
Also,
tell me about that.
Conveniently called RISO. Myself, I lived in New York for a while, and the owner lived in New York for 12 years. And so Pensacola is great. We love the South, but we wanted something as urban as we could get, very industrial, moody, edgy. And that is immediately the vibe that you get in there. It is, of course, as we who spin know, all the rooms are different, but this is the darkest room with the brightest lights when you need them, the loudest music, but it is very, very urban, and it's a cool vibe that I think anyone would really enjoy.
Fantastic. So to kind of break down what you're offering, is it like rhythm, traditional, like dance, like what's your style?
Great, absolutely rhythm-based riding. Traditional classes can be anywhere from 45 minutes, every once in a while a 30-minute class. We do up to an hour on the weekends. There's certainly an arm-based series that will be with that, but it is to the beat anytime, and we make that clear. We ride as one. But the playlist, of course, and the vibe is so different from an instructor. So I tend to be the sassier one, a little pop princess sometimes.
I get that vibe from you.
I don't know why. I don't know why. But there's always a remix, and I can be EDM or every hip hop Monday I sleep in there sometimes, Sunday service. But it is very meditative, rhythm-based riding.
Fantastic. And so then break down kind of what are the other riders like? What are the other teachers like?
It's so crazy just to have such diversity. You've got your 6 a.m. crowd, and they may be the biggest hustlers. And so they need the instructors who are going to be, balls to the walls, let's go, loudest music, remixes, rap, EDM. But then, you get your 8:30, 9:30 crowd who want a little bit more meditative, your soccer moms who just need to move and sweat out a little champagne from the night before. And then, of course, anything in the evening time is just go, 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 loud and proud. The weekends can be very restorative. My favorite class I teach is Sunday service. And so just imagine, 50 candles. It's not easy by any means, but it is certainly more soothing, more really connected to the room, the energy, and the soul. So a lot of different diversity in terms of instructors and just the overall classes that are offered.
Wow, sounds amazing. So then let's talk about kind of how you got to where you were. What is your history in the fitness industry?
So, I mean, always something that's been very close to my heart. Have done a workout series, worked with trainers forever, but as far as instructing, actually, it is because the crazy people at Ride Society decided just to give me a chance. My personal story, of course, starting third row, as scared as I could be, hoping no one would look at me. As you can maybe tell just by knowing me a little bit, I tend to like to have the center of attention. So I moved closer and closer.
You're so shy. You're just
no,
timid.
I know. No, never met a stranger. And it's funny because in my personal life, my day job is I'm executive director of a theater. And so, I kind of say I stir up drama every day of my life, but it's very similar. The theatrics and the performances that happen on the podium in a class is exactly what we do and teach at the theater. So it was an immediate good fit for me. The rhythm base has been good for me too. I was a drum major, in high school. I've always enjoyed the art of the dance, but Ride Society is my first instruction-based workout. So it's excited to be on that side now.
Fantastic. Now I can see, because obviously when it comes to music and theatre, because I used to be, lo and behold, I used to be a singer before I was a presenter. Right, we're not going to turn this interview into a sing-off. This is not me. We're not doing that. But when it comes to musicality, it's amazing how it can tap into fitness and the two.
Absolutely.
You would think, it's so worlds apart, but actually you can fuse the two together in such a magical way.
Absolutely. And at the theater, we make magic out of nothing. And, we know the smoke and mirrors action with some good lighting, maybe a little fog. And so it's fun to really incorporate, the crazier lights into the classes and to get the theatrical aspect, of course, all while getting in a sweat.
What all us getting fit and buff? I mean, like winning. I mean, when you're in the theatre, you just eating ice cream in the interval, so it's not quite as fitness based, but yes, equally as fabulous. So then let's talk about kind of what inspired you to be a trainer in the sense of, obviously you can get up, you can deliver it in that performance way and get across, but what else is there that really drew you to giving to somebody else?
Absolutely. It's because we all go for different reasons. And as a rider, not yet instructor, it was so interesting how different my reason could be that day. It could be, to go take something I really needed, just to leave with something. And then some days I was so ready to go and I had something to give. And it's therapy, if you will. And it's all fitness. And it's certainly, doing wonders for your body, but it's so strong for your mind. And I knew what it was doing for me personally. And so then to see how that could affect different people and then have a part in that was immediately what drew me to it at first. And, I think it's so great. We love those big victories, right? We love the transformations, but I think what's so important is just those small victories that you see every single day by that one rider who, holds it up a little 15 seconds longer or can go just a little bit faster. And so that's really, really drawn me there. And to see that every single day is so important to me.
Mm-hmm. No, it's amazing, isn't it? Sharing in other people's victories is amazing. And they're inviting you in also and getting hot and sweaty all at the same time. So
if the shirt comes off, it's fine.
Yeah, we don't mind that. So are you certified as an instructor?
Yeah, so we went through originally the Schwinn program of certifications for spin, which is a lovely base program. Now looking back, what we do is far more intense. But we check that box off, absolutely. But now we're actually talking about trying to come up with our own certification because it's such a unique form of riding. In terms of BPMs, we tend to go a little bit faster than others. We get a little more complicated with our choreo. But the Schwinn program is absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic. And would you say that if somebody has a similar personality to you, they like seeing the little wins by the people, they really want to give something to someone else, would you recommend becoming a spin instructor? Do you think that is something good to do?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Again, did I really have time for it? Probably not, but I was going to try to sneak in a workout anyway. But no, when you're like me and you just have something to offer and something to say, and you always got the smile, and you don't even need the pre-workout because your energy is just there all the time.
Yeah.
Use that, channel it, and put it into a spin type program. And of course, I like to preach. Spin is my thing, but I just want you to move. And I don't care what it looks like, and I don't care what the end result is. At our studio, we have no numbers, we have no metrics. You can't see a leaderboard of what the next person is doing compared to you. So it's just moving. And so if you've got a little energy to spare like I did, absolutely suggest it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So let's talk about then the studio as a whole. Is it just spin, or is there other elements to it?
So at the moment it is just spin. We do incorporate things as we can. Now we have like a ride and bands class to get that resistance band. And there, of course, the arm weights, as we mentioned earlier, because the way the layout is, it only has the space for the spin right now, but we do pop-ups all the time. So we'll do outdoor things that we can incorporate more of like a body pump into it, but they're not permanent. They're just a little bit more fun, temporary, because it's Pensacola, Florida. The weather here is fantastic. We've got sun all the time. So we do as much outside pop-up that we can.
Yeah, that sounds great. Unfortunately, not so much in the UK. That doesn't really happen. Raining all the time. We're currently going through, it was snowing last week, and we're now in a heat wave.
No.
Our heat wave, in comparison to your weather, is
I'm
not a heat wave.
What about cap to let you see outside? It's absolutely stunning right now.
You showed me to the window and I have to put SPF on because they're like, oh God.
I love it.
So do you offer any one-to-one coaching, any like nutrition, anything personal training based? Do you offer any of that?
It's there are a bunch who also double as a personal trainer. We will do private rides, private spin one-on-ones in the studio. To be honest, it tends to be more of like the fun, let's birthday party, bachelorette party. People don't typically do it just because they think that I'm personally going to whip them into shape more than someone else. So not currently offered, but hey, you think I have something to offer, you give me a call, make it happen. DM.
Yeah, exactly. To it. Big yourself up. We like this. And so let's talk about, because we can talk about all the great things, which is always good. But is there anything that you find that's challenging? Anything that you've had to overcome to get to where you are?
As an instructor, absolutely. Because the one goal, of course, is sustainability. Why are you going to take me seriously if I can't get on that bike, whether I've had a great night's sleep or a hangover or whatever the case is, and do the whole thing. So of course, building that actual strength is one thing. Scheduling can always be its craziness because I tend to love the 6 a.m. crowd, so I haven't slept in 12 years. But to be honest, I think that's the reason some people are called more than others, because it comes very naturally. The things that are, hardships or trials to get there are really beautiful in the end. And so, maybe I'm an optimist, or maybe I'm just the crazy person who enjoyed, the beating to get there. But it's been a wild ride, and I know we're just getting started. But for anyone thinking about becoming a trainer, an instructor, never have ridden a class and just wanting to go, you've got to not beat yourself up. If you're sore, or you're tired, or you don't get what you want immediately, those immediate results will never happen. And it's so crazy to look back a year from where you were. And it's crazy how those small successes can be so strong. So stick with it, and they won't be hardships. They'll just be opportunities.
Exactly. No, it is. I feel like because obviously I talk to a lot of spin coaches. I always feel like the take up in the first week or the first 2 weeks can feel quite difficult because it is so physical and it is so, hard on your body. It's a new thing to put your body under. But when you get past the hump, it is just rewards.
All that breakthrough that just happens one day, and you can't compare yourself. One of my favorite things is we're a military-based town, and so we get all these great military guys who are ripped, and could probably run circles around me. And after class, they're going, holy crap, that was way harder than what I thought. We're not used to that at all. It is definitely its own form of workout. Yeah, so you've got to get from 1 week to the next month and just really build up that stamina.
Yeah, fantastic. So one of the most important things, like we've touched on the little wins, but if you can think of like your favorite, obviously we shouldn't have favorites, but your favorite client, your favorite person that's been in your class, what sort of turnaround have you seen in them? Kind of what's your favorite
Oh goodness.
story
So many come to mind. You know, because it's low impact, but you know, high intensity, we see a lovely influx of some of an older crowd, especially from our female patrons that are interesting. And I love to see them come, one, because, you know, sometimes they just need something to do, but there was one particularly who had gone through and had rotator cuff surgery and, you know, had just had so much improvement, but then for other reasons had injured herself. And it was a week after she had the surgery and she's in a sling, and I'm like, oh my, you can't even get on the bike. What are you gonna do? And she's like, I'll sit here. I don't even need to move my legs. But she's like, there's something about the room itself that gives me far more than just a workout. And I'll never forget her story because it's just so special. The workout was important, but until she was strong enough to, you know, physically be better and ready to ride, she just wanted to sit in the room where it happens. So it's those type of emotional stories that I think have got me even more than just a physical transformation story as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing to just want to be there and feel it. It attests to, like you say, it's so much more than just the physical, and it is the vibe, and that what you can get from people in that area is, you know, unlike anywhere else, which is.
I tell you, after class, if you could bottle up all that energy and drink it, you'd be a millionaire as a juice bar because it's just infectious.
Yeah, completely. So let's then talk about somebody who's thinking about coming to cycle with you. That you've sold them now, killer interview, you've sold them. And what should they expect in the first 30 days?
Well, that saddle is going to be sore after a couple of days. And no, it never feels that way ever again. I remember the first time I was like, holy crap, how do I even live with this soreness? That goes away forever. But it's crazy that you don't have to wait that long to see some type of result. Now, you know, the results that you have in your head, maybe not, but you will start to see such a difference in all aspects of your being. So that first 30 days, you've got to stick with it. You need to be very experimental with different riders, different instructors. You know, the energy of who you sit beside is just the same as whose class you're taking. So don't be afraid to explore, and know that whatever you do, you're not married to it. You put a little extra resistance on that wheel, oh my God, this is awful, take it off. Just be willing to explore your limitations and know that 30 days from those last 30 days, you're only gonna be stronger than that too. And if for nothing else, just come for the dance party, because you can imagine we have a little bit of a good time.
Exactly, yes. If I lived in Florida, I'd be there right now, for sure. If I'm ever over, coming your way, dance party. So this has brought us to the end of the interview. It's been so seamless and fantastic. So really, you have the floor now. So I want you to share kind of with your audience what you want to give them, like your personal message to the people watching.
Okay, well, you know, one of my favorite songs growing up, I loved Aaliyah, and she said, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
Yes.
So take that with you. Go to have a good time, go to meet friends, but go for you. There's so much throughout the work week and the professional life and in your private life that you just don't have control of, and you don't have time to take for you. And I guarantee you, taking this time for you to really show up for yourself is going to be the best decision that you ever make. And you're going to have a stellar body after it too. So don't be afraid to take that leap, and never apologize for unapologetically being you and taking time for you.
Hell yeah, perfectly said. Loving it. Okay, now we are just about to time out, but big up all of your Instagrams, Facebook, socials, all of this. The floor is yours.
You get at me Instagram. It's my full name, at Sid Williams-Heath, married. So I got a nice little hyphen in my last name, SIDWILLIAMS Heath. We also are at Ride Society. So if you want to come and check us out as a studio, and then Sid Williams-Heath on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you.
Fantastic. Well, Sid, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today. I've absolutely loved it. It's like late at night here, but you've like peaked me up now. I should be getting to bed, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do dance party.
You have a coffee, I'll have an Ambien, and we'll meet in the middle.
Wow, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Say hello to all your patrons, for everybody at the Indoor Cycling channel, and hopefully we will see you soon.
See you soon.
All right, bye.